Of friends. I am delighted to see you in the midst of the apocalyptic week that we're having here in New York. Not sure how things are where you are, but it's been a little weird here in New York lately. I'm going to start slowly to give people time to join in. So let me turn on the chat. So we had a little let's see. I was out of town for a while, visiting with my mom and family while my sister was on vacation. So I got to play with her dog and I got to see a bunch of relatives. It was just a very busy time. So we came home on Easter and I have just been getting back to life and things have been going pretty well. Yesterday we had snow, which makes me wonder what season we're really in. Um, because we'd had all the buds on the tree. I had beautiful daffodils all along the back of my driveway and my flower bed. I had tons and tons of daffodils, hundreds of them on Wednesday. And on Thursday, they did this because there was snow and ice on them. But it was nice seeing them for a couple days at least. The snow is gone. The trees are still standing. And then this morning we had an earthquake. That was interesting. I was walking through the kitchen and suddenly all the glasses in the cabinet started rattling against each other. And I've been having trouble with my laundry. My washer machine has been unbalanced and it spins and thumps because I'm hearing a weird noise and the dishes are rattling. I'm like, the washer has never made the dishes rattle before. So I checked my washer, it was fine. And I looked outside to see if there was like a big truck or a plane. And then I was like, oh, it's an earthquake because of the rumbling sound. I live on a mountain and my mountain rumbles. This is the second earthquake we've felt in this house. And the last time was in 2011. And we thought that it was thunder because it was a going to rain day, or anyway, it was in August, and we thought it was going to rain, and we're checking to did we close the car windows type of thing. Today it was just a little tiny little earthquake, which was big for New York. So let's get this straight now. I live in New York. We get blizzards. That makes sense. We live in New York. We get blizzards. We also get tornadoes. That does not make sense. They belong in the plain states. We get hurricanes. Also does not make sense. They belong in the South. The Panhandle, Florida and Texas, they should get them. And now we get earthquakes, which belong in California. So I'm not really sure where I live, but none of this is a big problem. I mean, there's major earthquake in Taiwan, I believe, and they were worried about tsunamis and stuff. So all of this is a no problem. And they've actually got in touch. My phone keeps going off with emergency warnings from the state. So if it goes off, I apologize. They just keep telling me that we did have an earthquake 4 hours ago, which I knew that, but they checked all the bridges and the bridges are safe to cross, which is good because there's been some bridge problems. Anyway, leave me a comment to let me know you're here so I can see if there's folks and my comments are working, because they're not showing up on here. I'll check on my phone and we can get started. Let's see, notifications. Okay. I am not getting I'm not getting notifications on here. I am on my phone, so I'm not getting YouTube notifications, but where am I? I'm on Debbie Brown Quilts. Let's see. So hi, everyone. I'm here and I have a list. Oh, somebody commented from Debbie Brown Quilts. It did not, I can turn this off. So hello, Joyce. Hi. It is good to be back. And I'm not sure why I'm not seeing all the comments. I'll have to dig into the platform to see why I'm not getting the YouTube and the Debbie Brown Quilts ones. Denise, I'm happy to see you today too. Last week was crazy with being with family, and yeah, there was a lot going on. And let's see, Bev is here. Hi, Bev. It's good to see you. let's see what is new. I just sent out an email letting you know that the pattern is ready for the Shamrock's quilt pattern. It is basted up and ready to quilt. So I'll be filming that this week because I picked up my new sewing machine. No, I picked up my repaired sewing machine because I wore it out. The very last hands-on I was teaching was at a guild about an hour away from here in Warwick, New York. And the very last demonstration, I did the bobbin slipped. And I keep replacing the bobbin case, but it was the spring spacer in there. So I got that repaired. And then I might have also bought a new sewing machine, because it's always good to have another new sewing machine. So hopefully it'll be here next week and I'll get to show you my new baby. We'll see what I should name this one. Let's see. Patty, you are in cold Ohio. Yeah, we are up to 40 today, but we had snow yesterday. So gross. We had spring, and I think we've had first spring, second spring, and maybe the third spring will be the right one and it'll stay. It just hasn't really been sure of what it's doing. So yes, I did get my sewing machine repaired. I have a list I'm working off of, and I did buy a new sewing machine. Shh, don't tell my husband. Actually, he knows I bought it. And I just can't wait for it to arrive. There we go. The Shamrock quilt is basted and ready to quilt. I have the thread picked out and I know what I'm going to quilt on it. So we can talk about that. I don't have a stylus with me, so I'll be drawing with my finger, but let me grab the Shamrock quilt. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me pull it up. Shamrock. No. Yes. And now I can share that with you. Window. There we go. So this is the Shamrock quilt, and it's only 45 inches. It was really easy to baste because my pressing station is 50 some 60 inches wide. And so I could baste it all at once and didn't have to do it in sections, baste the entire width at once. So that was lovely. It will be easy to quilt and bind because it's little, which is also lovely. And it's just a nice put out for a holiday size quilt. I don't want to spend 46 hours, binding a quilt that's only going to be out, 17 days a year type of thing. So this was just a nice little decorative quilt, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I was thinking of quilting it with shamrocks. I know. I don't know where I got that idea. It's out of left field, but go with me here. I think it might fit the theme. So let me get some blank drawing paper. What kind of machine did I buy? It's a secret. Let's see. I have been with Handy Quilter since 2006, and I have a Handy Quilter little machine to travel with. I have a Handy Quilter high-speed industrial machine, and the machine that I do all my videos on is my Handy Quilter 710. But it's had two major repairs recently. I mean, I've really, if my machine is at the end of its life, it doesn't owe me anything because I've had it a very long time, and I've quilted literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of quilts on it. So it has a lot of stitches on it. But that's now going to be my travel and teach machine, and the other one would be my stay-at-home machine. So I might have bought another Handy Quilter. It is the Handy Quilter Stitch 610, which has its electronics with nice features. So that will be showing up in videos in the next couple weeks. Very excited. So Liz, I got the Handy Quilter Stitch 610. It is similar to my last one, but some newer features. I'm not sure what all of them are yet because I just know I like Handy Quilter. I work with them. So I bought the next machine that they came out with, and I'll enjoy playing with it and seeing what new features are there. So I was getting a blank page. Let me pull up a blank page here so I can draw on it, and I will share it with you. Window, window, window. There we go. So I am now on my blank page. Let me pull up a pen. Can I get different colors? What do you think? Green for shamrocks? I know, crazy idea, right? Okay. So I've stitched flowers like this before, and I have stencils like this before. So I have a stencil that's a circle, and then I'll stitch into the middle of it, and I'll make a heart and a heart. And then on the other side, it's kind of a heart, kind of a jelly bean. So that's my pansy stencil. But I can do the same design. Hold on, trying to draw a little bit. Let me draw. Draw. Thank you. And I did this on a placemats and table runner for my mom years ago, so I know it's a really great pattern. So I'm going to swing into the middle of my circle, and I'm going to make a heart, kind of a jelly bean, but if you make a straight out heart, that works too. And then down here, I'm going to make a stem, and that is my shamrock. I have been informed by reliable red-headed Irish friends that a shamrock has 3 leaves, not 4. 4 is a 4-leaf clover. And then I'll come out of here. And go to another one. And so I'll wind my way around the quilt with that. So expect to see that. I'm also working on, and I have some green thread for that, which is going to be lovely. It's just a gorgeous variegated green thread that I happen to have a lot of. Where's my cursor? I lost my cursor. Let me come back and say hi to you. So that's what I was thinking of quilting all over the quilt, just some shamrocks. Now, anything that I've quilted on any previous color blocks would look good on here too. If you want to do just straight lines across it, or you want to do bacon across it. I'm sorry, my eye is giving me grief today. You can stitch any design, because the quilt is the design. So the quilting is just to hold it together and not mess it up. I have no idea. I have not been near a child with sticky fingers, but my glasses make it look like I have. Now, tomorrow, I will be near a child with sticky fingers, or 3 children with sticky fingers, but not today. So that's what I want to do on the shamrock quilt. And then I have another color block quilt coming out next week. It's going to be another little one for the season. So let's see, we've had snowflake in January, hearts in February, shamrocks in March. Maybe we should have boulders and snow for the earthquake and the snow that we had in April. Or we'll see what April themed things I can come up with. Actually, I know what it's going to be. I also know what May is going to be, and June, July. I have them all planned out. So I'm really excited to make that. And I'm thinking you might want blue or gray color blocks to get ready for next week's. Let's see, what else have I been doing? I've been doing a little bit of knitting, but not a lot. The nor'easter we had this week threw me for a loop, and I was down for a couple of days, which is why you're seeing me on a Friday. I had doctors on Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday I was in bed. It was just icky weather. And if any of you live in the Northeast and got that nor'easter, you understand exactly what I mean. So I'm working on a sock that has a little garter stitch pattern in here. So that's been fun. And if you think that it's a straight and easy thing to make a sock, this is the first sock I made that I'm knitting into the second sock as I'm pulling it apart, because it was too big. And I already have bed socks that I made that were too big that I didn't want to take out. So this I'm going to take out as I want to wear these. This is some lovely moondrake yarn. And these are, I forget the name of the needles, but these are little teeny needles. There's a set of 3 of them to knit around instead of using a set of double pointed needles, in case anyone knits. Let's see what else. Tomorrow, I am going to Connecticut to teach at So Inspired in Simsbury. I'm teaching a home machine class there. I'll be teaching that tomorrow afternoon, and I might have to see my little gremlins who live near that shop for brunch before I go teach, which I'm going to do. My next teaching after that is also at So Inspired. I believe it's on the 19th and 20th, I think, Friday and Saturday. So there is a shop hop, a Connecticut all-state shop hop that runs for many days. I'm going to be doing handy quilter demonstrations there for Friday and part of Saturday. And then Saturday afternoon, I'm going to teach another home machine class. So all of these links are in your newsletter. So that's coming up. Let's see, what else am I going to? My calendar is really filling up. Like I think it's almost full for the year. I in March announced that I was going to be teaching again, and by now my calendar is full. So in May, I'm going to be teaching at Sanford Sewing Center in Maine, Sanford, Maine. I'm also going to be teaching at Anna's Sewing outside of Cleveland. I forget the name of the town right now. I'm sorry. But that is going to be in May. Where am I teaching in June? Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, June, I'm teaching at Handy Quilter Academy out in Utah. And if you haven't been, you should go. It is, there's still a couple openings. I'm teaching the long arm track, but it's all free motion. It's not computerized. So this is the advanced, and we have some really fun. I had a meeting this morning with my co-teacher, and we are coming up with some really fun plans for you. If you're going to be out in Utah, it's going to be a hands-on, tons of information, send you home very full. I love teaching at this retreat, and I've missed it for 4 years. So it's so happy to be back with my handy quilter friends and family out in Utah. Let's see, that's June, July. I can't announce yet. August. What's August? Because I don't know what I had for breakfast. See, August, I am teaching at So Inspired in Simsbury, Connecticut. There's a 3-day event. I believe that's hands-on. September is Middlebury, Vermont. October is Calico Gals in Syracuse, New York. And November is Pocono Sew and Back in Pennsylvania. So for now, other than going to Handy Quilter in Utah, I am going to travel by car. So Ohio is as far as I'm willing to go west. I could do all of New England, and I can go down to like Maryland and a little bit of Virginia. That's as far as I'm willing to drive. Let's see. Patty, so glad I'm feeling better to teach, waiting for Cincinnati. Cincinnati could happen because I am back and forth to mom's in Pittsburgh a lot. So if you have someone that wants to hook me up to teach there, see how it goes. I would be willing to drive that far, but my calendar is getting kind of full. I have a couple other teaching things that aren't firmed up yet, and a couple I can't announce. Oh, at the end of this month, I'll be giving a lecture at the Empire Quilt Fest in upstate New York. It's north of Albany, not remembering the name of the town just this second, but I'll be doing a quilt talk, and I'll be pretty excited to go there. It also happens to be where my daughter lives, and it's pretty close to her birthday, so I might have to have dinner with family. So it is great being back on the road. I will never, and I did once in my life say never and didn't mean it, because I'm like, Mom, it's just a prom date. It's not like we're going to marry the guy. I married the guy. I mean, that was 40 years ago I said that. Ouch. So I've learned not to say never, but I will never be week after week after week, this plane, that plane, that plane. My health is not going to allow it. But I'm really encouraged. My disease is under control. My heart failure is controlled. Heart failure is scary words. And by the way, that doesn't mean you're going to die. I didn't know that. So I'm being successfully treated for heart failure. It's being managed. And my back, I have some really good news. I had some really good results from a previous procedure, and I have 2 more procedures, and I think I might get some really serious relief and might be able to put my socks on without screaming. So that would be nice. Otherwise, whenever I do teach, I teach while sitting because I can't stand for very long. But hopefully that will change Mother's Day sometime in May. I would love that very much. So that's going on. Everything's coming up roses for me, and I'm back in the sewing room and quilting, which I haven't been for a long time. So I never want to say too much because the other shoe might drop, but in the last 16 months have put me through the ringer. But I think I might be back to quilting because I'm feeling good. I I think that's everything I had to tell you. So whenever I sign off, I will go back and check the comments, because I'm only seeing comments from one platform right now, I think. Um, where can we find the Shamrock pattern? Thank you for that. Let's see. If you go to debbiebrownquilts.com, click on online, that's the online quilt classes, and then you're going to go to Color Blocks Volume 4, and that's where it is. It's the new color blocks. So all of the patterns for 2024 are going to be all holiday seasonal quilts that you can, so they're not going to be huge quilts. They're going to be throw quilts, sofa quilts, things like that. I might even throw in like placemats or a table runner, just, seasonal stuff. The 2023 or volume 3 is all animals. Now, I was out of commission completely last year, so there's maybe only 3 quilts in there. But I've decided I'm going to go back and fill it in until there's 12. So you may get some bonuses, and I'll just intersperse them here and there. 2022 was just a variety of quilts, and 2021 was as well. That's volume 1 is just a random variety of quilts. 2022, random variety of quilts. 2023 is all animals, and 2024 is all seasonal. So I am, all of those are available. 2021 is finished. It is more than 12 quilts. It is more than 12 quilting videos. And that class is now being offered for pay. It is now finished and closed. If you already purchased it, it's still yours if you purchased it for free. So you'll get to keep it for free forever, but it is now closed. The 2022 volume is not done yet, as in all the quilts aren't quilted and the class is not finished. When it finishes, I will close it and then it'll become a paid class. And I think $25 is reasonable for 12 quilt patterns, 12 quilting videos, etc. And I'll be doing the same thing for volume 2, for volume 3, and for this one, volume 4, as I continue to work. So let's see. So thanks for asking where to find it. Let's see. I've also been doing some cooking. So I do have a Debbie Does Delicious Instagram page that I'll be doing some cooking on. Even, before I went back to work, if I'm not strong enough or awake enough, I decided if I can't shower and feed myself, I shouldn't work. So I'm showering and feeding myself. And now that I'm doing that reliably, I will be back to work. So I may be putting some more of my cooking videos up. Tonight is okonomiyaki, which is basically Japanese cabbage, egg, flour, and meat pancakes. The reason is because cabbage was really cheap and I have several heads in the fridge. So I'll be cooking that tonight, okonomiyaki. Fortunately, my daughter and her family love Asian cooking too, Japanese, Chinese cooking. I'll throw Korean in there as well. So I may not look it, but half of my stomach is Asian. The other half is Italian. Those are my 2 main cuisines that I love. I don't actually know what nationality I am, but I will embrace all of them. And in food, it's going to be Chinese mostly and Italian. So you'll see a lot of that up there. Anyway, I hope to be back with you next Tuesday. I've scheduled that in your newsletter. And I hope to have another newsletter for you next week with April's pattern in it. So again, very grateful for you all, for your patience and understanding as 2023 dropped a load of bricks on my head. And I'm digging my way out, but I'm really feeling hopeful right now. I'll feel even more hopeful if the sun shines, but it looks like we're not going to get any sunshine until the end of the week. As long as we don't get another earthquake, hurricane, plague of locusts. We do have an eclipse coming. So we've had a spring snowstorm, an earthquake, and we have an eclipse all within a couple days. Not sure what that means. So anyway, happy quilting, everyone. I'd love to see what you're doing. So let me know if you're going to make the Shamrock quilt, get ahead for next year. And I will be back next week on Tuesday afternoon at 2:30 in New York time on the Facebook page and on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.